Shayne, you recording?
Yep.
Nick, you're recording?
Hell yeah.
All right. Actually, excellent use of the word hell because of Halloween.
That should be the ending theme for this podcast.
That's right. I'll just rip it off. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the 70th episode of We're All in the Same Boat. I'm your host, Luke Roxwold, and today I am here with Nick.
Yo.
And Shayne.
What's up?
As always, you can check us out on Instagram, WAITSB Podcast. Follow, I almost said subscribe. Follow our Instagram page. We are posting questions and polls and stuff like that. So if you want to participate, that's the best way to do it. Once again, that's WAITSB Podcast. The acronym for All in the Same Boat, podcast. Boom. You can leave us a review on iTunes by searching for We're All in the Same Boat and then scrolling to the bottom and hitting the 5 stars. That makes us really happy. We are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Gentlemen,
welcome whatever Stitcher is, yeah.
To the podcast.
Welcome, podcast. I'm happy to be here. So thank you for welcoming me, podcast.
First of all,
LOL.
My name is not Podcast.
I know. I was just thanking the podcast for allowing me
Halloween!
to be welcomed.
Let's talk about Halloween.
Did that just happen? Did Halloween happen?
Yesterday was Halloween.
First of all,
I just want to say
so I don't normally participate and do things on Halloween day. It's just not a holiday I've ever really cared about too much post middle school. But I was driving for a little bit before I went to a non-Halloween event, and there were so many kids dressed as demented clowns, and I need the parents to stop doing this. I said, I'm uncomfortable, and it's just the amount of 5-year-olds that I know that have full conversations about it is already I'm already concerned there, and the amount of kids that wear Five Nights at Freddy t-shirts or have the Five Nights at Freddy toys, I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm concerned. What are these parents allowing these kids to do?
You walk up to the kid and you're like when in the clown outfit, and you're like, no kid, the clown kills you. Right? You're not the clown.
You're not the clown.
This is backwards.
There was a kid dressed as an It or the It clown from the new movie. And I was trying to be the cool person on the street and be
Nope.
yeah, just take a handful. And they would take 2 or 3. The kid in the clown costume took 40 pieces of candy.
Because he said, I'll kill you if you don't give me this candy.
Yeah,
That's
really,
what it felt like.
A little short clown.
I was too much in shock to say anything.
Fun fact, I've never passed out Halloween candy a day in my life.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Unless you count working at a fall festival type of thing, but I've never passed out candy from my house.
Good Lord. Okay, I just found a picture.
It's overrated.
I just found a picture of a child. I found a picture of a child dressed up as the It clown.
Ah, no.
Okay. Well, I'm not looking now.
All right.
Look.
This was a good podcast, guys.
I'm just not gonna look.
All right, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna
For the people listening, he sent a picture in our group chat, and I'm just not gonna look at the picture.
That's horrifying.
I'm gonna post this to our Instagram. So if you want to see the picture, hey,
don't do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
This is a good reason not to follow.
You guys will have to tell me what the picture looks like because
you'll never see it.
You guys will not see. I'll probably see it when I have to scroll down for something, but. Yeah, I just didn't really understand. I said, where are all the cute kids' costumes? Where are my Power Rangers? Where are my Powerpuff Girls? Where are where are my Disney princesses?
People
walking around as Fortnite and clowns. That's all I saw.
That's the thing. That's everyone's doing the Fortnite dance and stuff like that, and this is where I transition from being a cool hip person to becoming old. I'm not there, but I am getting there where it's wait, isn't that Fortnite's got all the dances? I think I know what some of the dances are, and they all have names. I don't know the names. This is it, guys.
Not
this
even
is transitioning.
Dances.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. It's aren't
true.
these dances from other things?
Other things, and they just changed the name.
Yeah, it's just what? I don't know. A whole generation of Fortnite dances. That's too much for me.
I mean, some of them are kind of cool, but there's just too many. And it's not cool because there is so many. If there was like 3, then for sure. But
have you guys ever played that game?
yeah,
Fortnite?
I played enough to know I don't care for it.
It's fine.
It's just not my type of game. I'm not good at it.
that's
That's
how
why
I
I don't like it.
It feels fine to me. It's just like, it's like I can build. That's nice.
I've
And then
never
I'd
got a kill.
rather play something else.
Never got a kill. I've never
that's
built
embarrassing.
anything. I'm just not good. Those are just not my type of games. I only played because some of my kids from a summer camp wanted to play. I was like, sure.
Like every freaking, it's ridiculous.
I'll be the
just
cool teacher.
How many
I'll play
people?
Fortnite.
It's just ridiculous how many people like play that game.
Okay.
It's annoying. It's just freaking annoying.
So you guys saw a lot of clowns. What was it? What were the other costumes though? A lot of it clowns. A lot of Fortnite.
I saw quite a few Naruto characters. I actually went to Chipotle yesterday, and there was a lot of people in costume there. Someone had a Stitch onesie, and I meant to ask him where he got that
That's
from
nice.
because I want that onesie.
You're like,
And-
was it an adult or was it a kid?
An adult.
I was like, if a kid knew who Stitch was.
If there was a kid, if there was a kid, like a little kid in a Stitch onesie, I probably would have kidnapped that kid because that's cute. That's a cute costume for a kid.
Well, we didn't have that many kids, so there wasn't that many. We got
For the
snow on
record,
ground.
I would
Did you
not
guys know
actually
that?
kidnap a kid. Just for the record, I would not kidnap a kid.
Oh, I guess you do have to say that, don't you?
I should.
Well, we had snow on the ground, so no one really came out for trick or treating, honestly. So Colorado got snow the day before, like 6 inches. Yeehaw,
Oh, really?
Colorado! Oh yeah.
Trick or treating is so lame. I don't know if this is everywhere, but trick or treating is so lame here now. First, it starts at 6:00. First of all, what? 6:00? Who?
It's still
6
daytime.
o'clock.
The sun is still out.
Exactly. For real.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
Well,
two,
parents are trying to be protective. That's part of it.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. We're
trying to be
we
more
as people
protective.
have taken the fun out of the entire holiday.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If I was a kid today trick or treating, I wouldn't think it was fun. They go out for all of 5 to 10 minutes. Like every kid that every kid that I've seen pictures of their candy, they don't have that much candy because their parents like, oh yeah, they were out for like 10 minutes. I said, what? We used to be out there all night. I'm confused. Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
But-
that's how it used to be. You'd be out for like 4 or 5 hours till like
Here's
10.
the thing. I think that Halloween, in the standard sense, like the way that it has been going along for years, which I actually don't know how long Halloween's been around. Like the actual trick or treating part.
Long enough.
I feel like it's gonna go away pretty soon.
You think
like
so?
the trick or treating part.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we're moving
can
towards
see that.
because I
There's
saw a
there's
lot
too
of,
many. Everyone's gonna be afraid of razor blades
no,
and
that's
like
true.
that's
their
true.
apples or whatever. You know, whatever
I
it is.
don't
true.
I don't think that the entire trick or treating tradition will go away. I do think the house to house thing will go away because I don't know, that's just uncomfortable at this point. But
It's gonna be
I
like
think
at an event where it's like,
it'll be like a trunk or
you
treat
show
type
up
of
and
thing.
right, like
Right.
Like they do
either
at
an
churches
event,
or
yeah, I
places.
see.
yeah, or it will be like a farmer's
here-
market type
Yeah,
thing.
like here's like a little festival for the kids. Yeah, it'll be stuff like that.
You know
for
how
sure.
like farmers markets, they like set up tents and people sell little trinkets and stuff. It'll be
Yeah,
like
and
that.
they have the
but people will just have
carnival.
like candy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Halloween used to be a riot. Literally, people used to
honestly,
riot on Halloween.
my neighborhood, we used to have this guy who would chase us with a chainsaw. And he got arrested eventually, but
oh,
yeah,
it's
like a
Halloween.
Wait.
like
Not-
a chainsaw
but
with the
he
chain
didn't-
on.
Wait.
What?
Wait a second.
Yes.
Well, no wonder, Shayne. No
didn't
wonder
have the
nobody
blade.
celebrates Halloween in your neighborhood. Like you're like, oh, no one ever gets. I've never given candy out. It's like,
why
yeah,
aren't they going outside?
freaking.
He got arrested, and then there was a
What's
guy
his name?
and then there was a
Jason's
guy.
running around.
LOL. We have this place, Lansdowne Commons. Is like for people listening. It's a shopping center and whatnot. It used to be like a wooded area before they cut down every single tree in Virginia Beach. But there used to be a guy. Okay, I never saw this for myself, so this might just be a big legend rumor. But I've heard enough people talk about it to kind of maybe believe it. But there was a guy who lived in the woods, and he had like pet chickens, or maybe he had like a farm of chickens. I don't know. And he would lure kids into the woods on Halloween with his chickens.
No.
The heck,
No,
dude?
That's horrifying.
That's bad. No. Oh, now I'm scared. Yep. I'm not. You know what? We're getting rid of
So-
trick or treating.
Now hold on though. Hold up though.
I
You
didn't
you
live
said-
on that side of the
Shayne,
neighborhood, so
Okay, so you said
This
that
is
a
rad,
man,
dude. Oh
you
my
said, hold on,
gosh.
the
you
chicken
said-
man, that's what we called him.
you said a man ran around on Halloween
chainsaw
near
man.
your house with a chainsaw. Did he have a mask on? Did you ever see him?
I was never stupid enough to go near him, so I never got like a close. I'm like, I'm
All
not
the
going near a
dumb-
man with a chainsaw.
All the dumb kids are like, let's go hang out by that chainsaw guy.
Yeah, I was like, nope, we're not walking that way.
Yeah.
But
we just had a-
I'm pretty sure he had a mask on. If he didn't have a mask on, then I would think he was mentally insane. I
just
still
had a
think
few
he's mentally insane, but
We just had a few sex offenders in our neighborhood. We didn't have no chainsaws, so
I think that
on Halloween.
in general.
Oh, okay. I'm not okay, but you know.
Did you
would
guys ever
come out
have,
on
did,
Halloween.
did you guys ever have like an experience on Halloween where you just got scared silly, like as a kid or as an adult?
Yes. I was in
Yeah,
a haunted
yeah.
house one time, and there was like the only part I can remember is the part where I was scared. Is there was a bunch of strobe lights going on in the room, and I don't remember if it was something in front of me or behind me, but it was like this white ghost looking person thing, and I just remember tripping and falling on the steps and then crying because I felt this is it. I fell.
cried?
I'm over. Yeah, because I fell and there was a ghost thing chasing me. So yeah, I'm dead. Like as a kid, that's what I'm thinking. So
This is the end.
This
Yeah,
happened last
basically.
week. This happened last week.
LOL.
So when I lived in
Actually, no.
when I lived in Jacksonville, so this was a while ago. I was probably like, I don't even know, 8 or 9 or something like that. Like I was pretty young, and no, probably younger actually, like 6 or
He
7.
was 3.
Actually, no, I take it back. I think I was 9 when this happened, and you know we always did trick or treating, and my parents were really big into not spending any money on the costumes at all. So they were basically like, you make your own costume, you know. So when I
costumes.
Yeah, so in 1999 or whatever it was, episode 1 of Star Wars had just come out, so I was Darth Maul.
Oh, sorry. Every time I hear that much,
But as a child, you know, it was awesome. So I dressed up as Darth Maul, so I basically had like a felt face, like a red felt face, and then we painted the tattoos on, so like the little black lines, and I dressed up as him. So anyway, we went around the neighborhood, and there was like some sign that was like, hey, FYI, in our neighborhood there's one house that went all out and made it super scary. No kids, or kids not recommended for kids. It's like basically like Busch Gardens or something, but somebody's house. So we're walking down the street, and then my dad sees the house and goes, all right, guys, I think we're gonna go around this one. We're not gonna go to it. And as he says
it's
that,
always a good sign.
then the kids are like, all of us kids are like, I'm not scared. I could do this. And so he's like, I don't know, you guys. I don't think this is and so then we start walking up there, and then one of the people who live there, maybe like the mom of the evil teenagers that made this horrifying house, was like walking out of the house, and she was like, oh, maybe you guys don't want to come to this one. Like, this isn't really for kids. And once again, we were like, whatever, woman, we'll be fine. So we walk up, and to kind of tie this into Shayne's story, immediately someone jumps out of the garage with the chainsaw. It's like, "Vroom, vroom." We're like, whoa, no. And then like, it didn't really scare me, but we kept walking. Like he jumped out and then kind of ran by us. We keep walking, and in the front yard, there's like a hole. Like they literally dug a pit in their front yard in the grass and like left all the dirt around it.
How many bodies were in this hole?
No, listen. So then they took like this fake body and put it in the hole, like on its back, like face down, or sorry, not on his back, like face down in the pit with his arms out, and then they just put a lawnmower on him, so it looked like the lawnmower like chopped him up. And so then we see that, and then like this guy jumps out from the bushes as a werewolf and runs by us, and then all of a sudden this trash can is like pops up, and the guy silly strings us, and all the way at the end there's this scream guy with the scream mask with the candy, and we couldn't even make it. Like at that point we were like, I'm out, I can't do it. So we like left, and all I remember is all of us were so freaked out. We were like, well, we're done. Let's go home. And I remember as we were like walking away from the house, I remember looking back and seeing that guy all the way at the end of the pathway, like you made it to the end with the scream mask, and he just was like waving at us as we left.
See, that's the intense stuff that I miss on Halloween. Like the decorations and things that people did that would scare you and stuff.
Yeah.
People used to
I don't
go
see that anymore.
People used to go way so much more. I drove through so many neighborhoods of like no one's even made any attempt. Is anyone even home? Like,
yeah, right.
That's what I was thinking.
Everyone went to the bar instead.
What
Apparently,
do you guys think like there's a worse? I think that there's what am I trying to say? A worst Halloween decoration. You know what it is?
Pumpkin?
No.
It's
That's the classic. I don't know.
What is it?
Do you guys have any thoughts on what would be the worst before I say mine?
I don't,
because I do have one.
The worst?
I don't have like an opinion. I'm trying to think of bad things that I've seen.
You talking about like the scariest?
No, the worst, like
Worst as in like it's just
you
bad.
suck.
It sucks.
This is the worst decoration for Halloween.
Pumpkin.
No,
Those
pumpkins are good.
Well,
Are they?
What?
Jack-o'-lanterns are kind of lame. I don't know. I've never been into jack-o'-lanterns.
They're kind of basic, yes,
They're just lame. They're so lame.
but at least they're not okay. Well, the thing I'm thinking of is worse.
They're
Shayne,
the
do you have
worst.
something? Yeah.
No. All I can really no, I can't really think of anything that I've except like maybe like the cute Halloween like inflatable things.
Oh no, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, is it
Wait,
really?
really?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like
shoot.
anything
That was my only
that's like
thought.
a blow up balloon
Yeah.
does not
My neighbors,
belong
my
during
neighbors have
Halloween.
one. My neighbors have one. I said, "Oh, what
Well,
the heck is this?"
No, because that's the worst. Like when it's like a giant inflatable pumpkin with like a happy cartoon face. Oh, that is the worst. That is the worst Halloween. It's like a Christmas Halloween.
Yeah, it's like
same
you're
page.
you're trying to be
Yeah,
Christmas.
yeah.
Stop. Please, just stop. Ugh.
Just
I
stop.
always liked the like witches crashing into the tree. That was always the one I liked when I was growing up.
I like the. Well, I used to be very scared of the like hand coming out of the trunk thing, or even someone in my neighborhood used to have hands coming. I don't know how they did it. They had hands coming out of their driveway.
What?
It was real because it
Yeah,
was
no,
real.
this guy.
Because
No, this guy
were
goes.
actual hands.
This guy goes so hard. He's the only person in this neighborhood that I know that goes so hard for Halloween. And even so, over the last couple years that I've noticed, I feel like he's like gotten a little lazy. And I think I read a sign that said something about being the final year, but I don't know if that means like it's his final year doing it or like that's just the theme of what the haunted thing is at his house. But yeah. He used to do really cool stuff. He's gotten kind of lame.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's one that I really like. I always like really gritty stuff. Like Halloween is supposed to be scary.
Yeah, I wanted to like really just like mess with
Yeah. If I'm not scared, like, what's the point?
That's why I like things like Nightmare on Christmas, because it's still kid friendly, but it's got to be creepy. Like you can't like this little like, oh, I'm a cartoon jack-o'-lantern. And you're like, what? This is for Christmas time.
Oh,
or
one
for,
of my buddies-
for Thanksgiving.
Actually, one of my buddies at a party dressed up as Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. Pretty elaborate costume. Basically, he made an entire like bag and wore it. It was pretty funny because
I'm
he looked
looking
like
up costumes now.
well, he looked like the Sorting Hat from freaking Harry Potter, and we were all like, "The Sorting Hat?" He's like, "No, I'm Oogie Boogie." He was so mad.
He was hearing, yeah. Well, if he made the costume himself,
It breathed really, really well. Here, I'll post a picture of it.
yeah,
Actually,
I'd like to see this.
Actually, I didn't go to a party on Halloween this year. I stayed in and gave out candy. But did any of you guys do a party on Halloween?
No.
No, I went and sang songs about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, to cleanse my soul from the devil's spirits of Halloween.
To keep the devil
That's
away.
exactly what I wanted to hear, Shane. Thank you.
That's what I did on Halloween.
Keeping Satan away on the.
For some
the
reason,
evil
I
night.
don't believe you, Shane.
No, honestly, that's what I did.
But you did something on Halloween. What was your Halloween party?
Not on Halloween. That wasn't on Halloween night. That was on the weekend, Halloween weekend. That's when I did devil-related activities. No, just kidding.
And then you had to cleanse your
It's
soul.
like on Halloween. Halloween is when I worship Jesus, but on the weekend, I worship Satan.
Yeah, it's like that
that
Panic at the Disco song. Say amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. What is it, Jehovah's Witness?
It's Saturday night.
It's like every holiday is like, well, they don't celebrate holiday. Every holiday they worship it.
Shane, what did you do at this Halloween party? Tell us about your costume. Did you have a costume, Nick? I know you had a costume, Shane.
I was Jack Sparrow.
did.
I'm Jack Sparrow every year.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
I'm Jack Sparrow every year.
That was really good, actually. I like that costume.
I have no variety from that costume.
No, that's
Just how it is.
your costume looked good. Shane, what did you dress up as?
So I had two costumes, I guess technically. So my first costume that I didn't take any pictures of. I don't know why, but I was Killmonger from Black Panther.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, sure. Like it was pretty low key.
You didn't take any pictures at all? If you didn't take any picture, did it even really happen? Are you sure?
No, it didn't. I wasn't thinking about taking. Okay, look, it was a long night. Okay,
A long night of sin. There will be no memory of this night.
He's like, I just finished
no, I
worshiping
remember
Satan.
everything.
Okay.
No. I didn't take any pictures in the costume because okay, so like long story short, I've like never been to a Halloween party before, and just over the last month or couple months or whatever, I've just been doing this thing where I'm like, okay, you know what? We're gonna be really social, and we're just gonna like just do things that like we just don't ever really do, right? So one of my friends, he throws this Halloween party like every year, and he asked me if like I would, I guess, DJ like the party or whatever, and I was like, duh, of course. Like I've always wanted to do something like that, and obviously I have the best taste in music out of any of these people here. So
Pop music.
Yeah, it wasn't even really pop music. It was a variety of stuff. Well, I'll get to that. But so the party thing, and so like I'm getting better with dealing with it, but I have like kind of bad-ish social anxiety. So like parties aren't really my thing, and my level of confidence is very different from when I have like people that I know around me, like friends and stuff, and then when I'm more like by myself. So my friends who like my few of my best friends who I knew were coming, they had a show and they weren't coming to the party till like 2 hours later after I had already gotten there. So I'm like, okay. But then I'm like, you know what? No, I do know a few other people. I knew people there. Not like I didn't know people, but I'm a weird type of person. I like to kind of know everything that's going on before it happens. And
this is perfect.
This is perfect for this party.
This is gonna be perfect for what we're gonna talk about later.
It was like an anxiety thing, but I was like, you know what? Let's just like enjoy ourselves. And so I started like I made myself like my little drink or whatever. And then once I started like drinking a bit, obviously that I was like, okay, this is fine. And then
you sinner.
He's like, I worshipped Satan a little bit. I started to feel better.
And then, yeah. So then someone I knew asked me to be their beer pong partner, and I've never played beer pong a day in my life. And that's what I said. I was like, I have never played. Like, you don't want me on your team. And he was like, no, it's cool. Like, I'll teach you. And I was like, okay, sure, YOLO, right? So, long story short, I played beer pong. I played 3 games of beer pong. I won all 3 games. I don't know how I won, because I was increasingly drunk while playing this game. The strobe lights going on were very blinding, but like I was making like almost every shot.
Oh man.
I wasn't
Shayne.
getting carried. Like I was
Natural.
carrying my friend. I was like, wow, and nobody believed that it was my first time.
Yeah,
so
they're
proud of you,
they're
Shayne.
like this
Thank you.
guy. This guy lying about like oh,
That's
I don't
what
know
they
how to
kept
play.
saying. They're like, you're lying. I said, no, I honestly have no idea what I'm doing.
That's
Now just
I'm
wait,
just
like
feeling the
you'll,
music.
you'll never get invited to another party from
Yeah.
him.
Right.
You're like, I don't
the
trust
best
this guy.
feeling.
He didn't worship Satan. He lied about beer pong.
Yeah, I was just.
He's
thinking
dressed
about
like
feeling the music.
Killmonger. Like, oh yeah, he plays weird music.
Yeah, that's what that was the exciting thing about like the party, because the reason like I've with the few party-ish things I have gone to, I haven't really enjoyed too much because either I don't know too many people there or the music's just not that good. So the fact that I was playing the music, I like every song that I picked. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, I'm having a great time the whole time. So by then, by the second game of beer pong, my friends have gotten there, and so we went. Our collective group costume, we were the mystery gang from Scooby Doo, and I was
classic.
I was Scooby Doo. So when my friends got there, it's okay, great. I need come help me change into my costume because I need to put like the spots on or whatever, right? So we go upstairs, and like we're changing or whatever. I'm changing and I'm putting on my stuff, and so I mean, whoever wants to see because I have no shame, my costume pictures are on Instagram, but I was very, as people would say, scantily clad costume.
Were you showing your nipples?
I was wearing very little clothing because people tried to call me out and I was not having it, because we decided one night as a group we're gonna go as Scooby-Doo, but they said, oh, let's go as like sexified versions of the characters. I was like, okay, sure, let's do it. I'm the only person who committed to that part of the theme.
Gosh,
Got
Shayne,
him.
I'm looking at it
Pranked.
now. What? This is great.
Got him.
And
That's
so,
funny.
But I was okay with that because I was like, you know what, we're gonna turn this into like a I don't know how you say it. I'm going to turn this into I guess I don't want to say a fear conquering challenge, but I'm going to say that just for the theme, for the theme of the podcast. So like,
I thought you were going to say like they're going to turn this into an orgy, and I was like, wait, whoa,
oh no, like,
what's going
no,
on?
there were no orgies.
God.
There were no orgies that I was involved in, at least. So
Shayne, this picture is
I love them.
something.
I love
I'm proud
all
of you,
them.
dude.
This is an intense.
awesome.
This
I
is like
like-
an intense picture.
Yeah, I edited
like-
them and like gave them like a theme, like throwing it back to like the 90s Cartoon Network. I love those pictures. And so
I'm attracted to you right now.
thank you.
The sexy part worked.
and so yeah, and so I like I'm sure a lot of people do. I have like, you know, I have like body insecurities, I guess. And so like wearing something like that and like at this type of places, like I'm really like putting myself out there like a lot more than I ever thought like I could ever possibly do in life. So I was like, you know, we're just gonna do it and we're just gonna have a good time. Now granted, saying that, I was not just wearing that the entire time. I had like a poncho thing that I would wear like half of the time when I was just like walking around and like, okay, I don't want to be like stared at or like talked to, like leave me alone, I'm just gonna walk around. So I wasn't wearing that like the whole time, but so once I changed this to my costume and went back downstairs and started getting a lot of attention, this something that's never happened to me a day in my life. I'm playing beer pong, right? And I'm like,
This is like a whole night of new things for you.
Dude,
Shayne.
oh
This
no,
is
the whole
great.
the entire night was just like, I'm very pleased with how I handled myself throughout the whole thing too. But
You DJ'd, you beer ponged, you had a sexy
seriously.
costume.
Seriously.
yeah, and so whereas I'm playing beer pong and I'm trying to like, I'm part of the hosting committee technically, so I'm trying to be all friendly and chatting it up with as many people as possible. And so people are like coming in the door. I'm like, yeah, hey guys, you know, come in, like enjoy yourself, have a good time, yada yada yada. And so playing beer pong,
You're like, isn't the music really good, guys? Like,
yeah,
didn't
right.
the guy
Isn't the
do a
music really
good job?
Check out Pop Talk here. Like, here's some business cards.
Smart man.
And so this girl who just comes in the door, like comes up to me, and she asks me, she's like, "Oh, do you have a girlfriend?" And I'm like, "No." And she says, "Well, I think you're really hot." And
my man,
Shayne.
I don't remember exactly what I said. I think I
Did
don't
you
remember
bark?
exactly what I said.
Tripped. And he's like, Reggie?
No, I didn't. I didn't practice the voice like I said I was going to, so I didn't do it at all. And I know some people wanted me to because that's but whatever. I should have practiced. But she and then I said whatever I said, and then she had said something about, well, like, I'm gonna be looking at you all night and yada 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 yada.
Ooh.
So like
It
in my
was
drunk
a
head,
sexy costume after all. Like,
yeah.
all
in
right,
my,
Shayne.
In my drunk head, I was thinking, wow, no one in my life has ever said something like that to me, and I really don't know what to do right now because I'm far too intoxicated to like.
I love that you're like, I dress up like a dog, and the women just flood in.
Dude, isn't that weird?
What did you say? Do you have a girlfriend now, Shayne?
Yeah, it is.
I do not have a girlfriend now.
Did you get her
No,
number?
I actually no.
But
because,
did you get her? Oh!
No, because okay. First of all, Luke, I don't think you know what this party was like, but I didn't even
was
see
it
her
trashy?
after. I didn't even see.
What?
No, I just didn't see her after that. There was a lot of there was a lot of people there for like the small amount of space that there was. But
When she said she was
didn't
going to
say
be
that.
watching you, when she said she
didn't-
was going to be watching, she was like off in the bushes with binoculars. Like
But
she
she
left
wasn't-
the party and just watched you from really far away.
but she wasn't even. Well, I didn't see her. I didn't see her after that. Basically, I saw
she
her
was
for a
hiding.
second. I saw her for a second when I was telling my friend. I said, "Oh, that girl over there thinks I'm hot." But I was.
Did she tell you her name?
Yeah, Marisol, I think, or
Ooh.
Marisol. She was wearing like a Coco, like that movie Coco type of costume. So her face was all painted with different colors. So I couldn't see her face. So I didn't even know if she was attractive or not, which is probably why I didn't really like say anything, because I was like, I don't really know what you look like, so I don't want to like compliment you back because I really don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, can I take you to the bathroom and hose you off really quick?
yeah, can
I
you
just gotta know.
Like, maybe it's
what's
really dark
underneath
in
the
here.
costume.
Like, can we? Like, I just can't really see you. So thank you.
Nice.
But
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I was doing so many things. Like, one of our friends was just like completely wasted, and I'm trying to make sure everyone's having a good time, right? So this guy, he's trying to kick him out of the party. He's like, you need to go home. I said, no, he doesn't need to go home. He just needs to sit down. He needs to breathe. I'm like, it's okay, Phil. It's okay. We're just gonna go sit down. We're just gonna go breathe. He's like, what? There's nothing wrong with me. Like, I'm fine. No, it's okay.
I'm not even drunk.
We all need a breather. I had to just do it a second ago. Like, I was just like feeling drunk. I had to sit down. It's okay. We're just gonna breathe. We're just gonna calm down. We just don't want you to get hurt. That's all, Phil. I got you. And so then we got him outside so he could chill out, because he was doing
Paranoid drunk is my favorite drunk.
He was falling over and doing stuff, and I was like, okay, Phil, like, it's only 11 o'clock. Like, I need you to get it together. But, and yeah, so then, yeah, the party's like going on. We're having a great time. And, yeah, that's really it, I guess. Then everything else was kind of just standard partying. Just people.
You
having a
won
great
beer
time.
pong. You went to Scooby Doo. A girl hit
Yeah,
on
and
you. You went to
and it
a
was good.
party.
Yeah, I went to, and I the thing I'm like patting myself in the back about is that I like had conversations with so many people that I just like didn't know, and like I was starting conversations, which I don't do. I don't like talk to people usually, so I just met like a lot of people that like I normally wouldn't have, like, I guess, talked to before. That was like cool. I was happy about that. I felt like I was very good and hospitable.
Right.
And then I cleaned up all the trash afterwards, which was great because
Helpful.
somebody called the cops on the party. It was like way after a lot of people had already left. I don't know. The guys whose house it was he was in some argument with some other guy, and I think that guy had called the cops to like shut down the party. I was upstairs like on my friend's couch, like laying down because I'm tired, drunk, and like I'm just trying to chill out for a second.
The cops show up, and you're like, "Can you just leave, please?"
Yeah, right.
I'm
super
bad.
And so I hear everything going on downstairs because people are just loud. And so then once I go downstairs and I'm talking to the people that are still there, they're like, "Oh, did you just see like the cops like just came?" I was like, "No, I was upstairs." But it was funny because the cops said, "Oh, we heard about like a party," and then my friend had opened the door and he was like, showed them around like the front area. He's like, "Well, what party? Like there's nothing going on here." And I said, "See, aren't you glad that I cleaned everything up?"
Oh man,
Because
you took one for the team. You camouflaged.
Did. I was like, bam! I cleaned everything up. There was no evidence of any type of
cleaned up
party.
the battle zones.
And he told me not to do it. I said, "No, I have nothing else to do." So
okay, so anything else? Because we're about to jump into okay.
No, good time.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like
awesome,
good time.
dude.
Lots of cool things that you did for the first time. So Nick and I have a friend. Speaking of fear.
No, this is terrifying. Oh my gosh.
Nick and I have a friend who decided it was about time
Dude. Oh my gosh.
to bring back the middle part look from the 90s. And I mentioned that he looked a little bit like Dora the Explorer. That's just my opinion. And then he responded by saying he expected to be a part of the podcast. So we're going to roast him. Shayne, here's the picture.
Okay, is it time to look? Should I look now?
Yes.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. Be terrified. There's a difference.
That's right. Fear!
Oh, gosh. I can't stare at it. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to cry.
Wait.
What do you think, Shayne?
Initial reaction, Shayne. Just go.
My initial reaction is I didn't know guys did middle parts.
Shayne. They don't.
I think that's the point, Shayne.
No, so it just looks really weird to me.
Yeah, I think it looks weird to most people.
I just like
kill it with fire. Dude.
I don't
Get a haircut immediately.
Well, no, I just don't know how to feel about the picture because obviously, like, well, one, it's not even parted good, but two, he looks very happy
Joel,
about
I'm excited for this.
Does he look happy?
So that's why I kind of feel bad if I.
It looks like kind of like a lemony smile, like he just ate a lemon.
It's weird because you can't really tell, but that he has the receding hairline on the sides with the middle part, and so that's part of why I think he did it.
I don't want to be too mean, but no. So like this is basically
I'm his friend. I can do that.
So this picture is going to be on our Instagram. How about that? Why don't you follow us? WAITSB podcast. So let's clarify a few things. Joel.
Wait, was this a Halloween thing? Oh, you're clarifying. Sorry.
No.
He was just trying to scare us.
He posted it today, and it did strike me into fear. So no, I'm just roasting him. So Joel is actually he's a pretty good looking guy, I'd say. Wouldn't you say? Italian man, tall, he's symmetrical, whatever.
I can't tell that from these photos. But, okay.
But no, so he posted this picture, and Joel's just the type of person I think that's kind of fun to make fun of. He's got a good heart though, but we're just making fun of him. So Joel,
no, that's the worst reason to make fun of him.
It's like he's a nice guy, he's got a good heart, so we try to hurt him.
Let's just tear him a new one.
Yeah. So he knew what he was getting into when he posted this picture.
Be fair, yeah.
Everyone's just making fun of him.
He likes that we made fun of him.
Well, look at the thing is, I think he can. Now here's the thing, Joel. You can message us, but like I bet he's excited that we're talking about him on the podcast.
I mean, I would be if I got a spotlight segment on a podcast. I'd be excited too, no matter what it was.
Yeah.
So
heck yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah. So if you want to see this picture, you can follow us on Instagram at WITSB podcast. Boom.
You don't want to see it, don't do it.
Yeah, really. Everyone, as soon as I post this picture, everyone leaves.
Yeah,
everyone
unfollow you.
All right, the main topic for today. Halloween just ended, and Halloween is full of spooks and scary things, which got me thinking, fear. What do you guys think about fear? Do you guys have any major fears?
Well,
Middle parts, most.
no. I was actually talking to Nick before the podcast, and cause it was so funny that you had mentioned the fear thing because, maybe a couple weeks ago at this point, I had refound my journal that I was like working on. And I wrote a fear tower in it. So I wrote down like my 10 greatest fears in it. And then I was supposed to like accomplish them one by one and then cross them out like when I did them. And when I refound it, I went back through them and I was able to cross out every single fear off of the thing that I accomplished in the past year. So I got no fears.
Dude, now you're done. Now you're gonna conquer the world.
That's not true.
Right.
I have fears.
It's like all my fears went away. We're good. Oh.
No. But my biggest fear, truly one of my biggest fears, it's number 3 on my list, was the roller coaster thing, and I rode the roller coaster like last month. So that
Money.
Yeah.
Which roller coaster?
I went on. It was at Busch Gardens. I went on Verbolten and then Invader.
You didn't go on Griffin?
Yeah, Shayne, you have to go on Griffin.
Honestly, just be glad I even went on a roller coaster.
Okay, so I want to break this down a little bit because I did a little bit of research on fear, just because I think it's interesting. Just the
It
fact
is an interesting, emotion, right?
we all experience different versions of fear because anxiety, I think, is kind of a type of fear. It's where, basically when you're afraid of something, just in case no one's ever been afraid of something, I'm going to clarify it for you. You have things that happen, like your breathing starts going faster, your heart rate increases, your blood vessels start to change, called pooling. I don't even know. I don't want to read all of this.
Oh, pooling.
Your muscles tense up. And so like they're kind of like you might get like goosebumps and stuff like that. You start sweating, blood glucose changes, all these like little scientific-y things. But like basically a lot of things happen all at once. And one of the things that I was like curious about is like, what's the point? Why do these things happen? And a lot of it has to do with the fight or flight mechanisms that we have in our body. So if like a bear shows up, all those things happen because it's like, okay, your heart rate goes up, you start breathing faster, your blood changes, your muscles tighten because it's like, all right, we gotta run, or we gotta fight. Like if it's a bear, maybe you gotta fight. I don't know. Maybe you want
like that fight or flight thing.
Yes.
Right.
So what I wanted to talk about though was the different fears that people have and some of the common fears. And so, like for me, I won't go there yet. Like some of the common fears that people have are, according to this list that I just found on the internet, demons and ghosts is a common fear.
Boring.
The existence
Are you kidding me?
evil powers, cockroaches, spiders, snakes, height,
Yeah, spiders
water,
are fun.
enclosed spaces,
Cockroaches.
tunnels, bridge. Oh, we found a fear. Do you have a fear of cockroaches?
I don't have a fear of cockroaches. I think they're disgusting, but
cockroaches are like poop
They're hard to
that
kill.
run at you.
I really don't like them. Yeah,
they're just
really don't
they're
enjoy
just
them.
gross, and because here's the thing: if I saw just dog crap on the floor, it's like, oh, gross. But if it all of a sudden just ran at me, it like that's basically what cockroaches do. They're like these disgusting little creatures,
My
and then they
dog's
just
crap
run at
ran
you.
at me.
Anyway, enclosed spaces, tunnels, bridges, needles, social rejection, failure, examinations, and public speaking. Nick, do you have any fears?
So, I'll start with the silly one, and then I'll go into a weird one, I guess. But so first of all, when I researched fear, I learned it's I guess it's something just your brain emotionally and naturally reacts and kind of just does, I guess. So that's kind of the idea. Sometimes it's irrational and sometimes it is rational.
Right.
And so I guess they're all irrational for me. Mostly for me, it's like spiders.
But spiders aren't irrational.
Yeah, I feel like you're supposed to be afraid of spiders, right?
That's what I don't understand, because apparently a phobia is just an irrational fear. And so like arachnophobia is fear of spiders, but it's like, I feel like there's a good reason to be afraid of spiders.
Yeah,
they can
and that's
bite
how I
you.
feel too. And the same thing with like closed spaces, because I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna run out of air, kind of thing. So I don't know. That's why I have those two fears with like like extreme claustrophobia, and then for enclosed spaces and spiders. But then I have a weird one. Have you guys heard of trypophobia?
Oh no, I think I have.
It's the
I think I know what
irrational
this is.
reaction to like holes. And
I hate this one. I hate this fear.
I can't explain it, but it really just gets me, and for some reason it just messes with my head. So
Warning:
it's this.
if you have not ever seen this, Google at your own risk.
I don't think I have, and I don't want to.
So
Oh, no.
it's like when you see holes in a place that they're not supposed to be. So if anyone's familiar with like the frozen peas epidemic that was happening when people were kneeling on frozen peas for a long period of time, it would put these like weird holes on their knees. And it was really weird that they were there. And it was just something about it like really like freaked me out. So I'm going to post a picture.
Okay. I think
I'm going to post a picture. I'm going to post a picture.
No.
It's makeup.
No.
It's makeup.
No.
I'm cringing looking at it,
Don't do
but
it.
it's
Don't
makeup.
Do it.
It's
I can't
makeup.
get rid of it if you post it.
I think I might
Don't
know
post
what
it.
you're talking
No.
about. Oh, that's gross.
Ah.
But something
I
about
didn't-
that
okay,
makes
that's-
my skin
I hate
crawl.
this stuff.
That's gross.
It makes my skin crawl. It just makes
Delete.
my skin crawl.
I'm not even afraid of it. I'm not even afraid of it. I just don't like
just
it.
gross.
It's gross.
But
Ugh.
it's not even the grossness of it.
I
It's
hate
just
that stuff.
If I just see something like that, it freaks me out.
What
And
do you mean see something like how often are you seeing people with a skin disease like that? I mean, like, where do you see it?
Rarely do you ever see that.
Hopefully never. Where are you seeing
like,
things like that though?
But it just online. I mean, in general, like it's not really a thing that you see, right? But it's just the holes are in a place that they're not supposed to be, and your brain recognizes that, and it responds to that, and it sends goosebumps like down my friggin' spine, dude.
I think it's because it's like it looks like a disease, and so your brain
that's
is
what
like,
it is.
run away. That's you don't want that. Get away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get it.
Is
but
that your
it's-
top one? What's your top fear? Is it claustrophobia?
My
or
top
spiders?
fear? Top
Yeah.
fear is probably heights, really. Like
Really?
I have
Yeah.
a pretty bad fear of heights.
Yeah,
and I think it's
that's
attributed
my
with my
number one.
roller coaster. Yeah, I think it's attributed with my roller coaster fear as well. I'm just like, I don't like being that high, because if I fall,
Yeah,
I'm going to die.
that's my thing. My thing is it's the falling from the heights.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't like. But when I went on both of those roller coasters, I never once felt like in danger. So I guess that's good.
Yeah.
I know.
And
So you don't
as
do
long
not
as you don't
ride.
feel that.
Nick, do you not ride roller coasters?
No, and it's weird because it's like it's funny because I can be really high in a very safe area. Like I can go to the top of like a skyscraper or the Empire State Building, right?
Although I'm
but
nervous when I go on the Empire State
But
Building.
when I'm barely strapped in on a roller coaster and I'm 10 stories in the air, yeah, I'm not cool. Or if I'm on the drop zone, I'm like, yep, get me off of this.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about it though, because roller coasters don't scare me really.
my
but
goodness.
because you're just strapped in, especially like Griffin, because Griffin you go up so quickly.
Well, Griffin is
know what my
like you don't
greatest
have
fear-
time to be
Wait,
scared.
hold up. So, but what I was gonna say is that if I'm in a building with windows, I don't get scared of heights. But when I'm on like a balcony, like I was on a balcony in Miami that was like
Yes.
35 stories
Yeah.
high.
I was just
Yeah.
on one.
Oh, I don't like that because it's just open and so I could do it. Like I went out there and we're just hanging out like a cool guy. Like I got my beer. I'm up on the
No.
balcony.
Nope.
But then like literally after a little while, I was like, guys, I kind of just don't. I don't like being
Yeah.
up here because you could just fall.
Yeah,
it's like
I'd be
if there's a
clinging to the
window, you
wall,
can't
yeah.
fall. But
I'd be clinging.
I'm just like, how often in life
idea
has
of
someone just
falling,
flipped
right?
over?
Fallen, yeah.
Whoa. And it
Oh my
never
goodness,
happens,
man.
but it's difficult for me. The other
No,
one is
that was just me. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say claustrophobia. Oh, I hate it. Like if I can't move my head and I'm like stuck in something.
How did you discover you had claustrophobia? Because my dad was like messing with me one time. He wrapped me up in a blanket and I couldn't get out of the blanket, and he left me in there for like 5 minutes, and then I had claustrophobia.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. How did you find out you had claustrophobia?
Wait, first of all, Shane, do you
He
have
got
claustrophobia?
claustrophobic. I mean, I don't know if I have claustrophobia, Well, maybe. I don't know.
Because I know some of the ways that I found out.
I wouldn't say I'm claustrophobic. I don't like being in closed places, but I've never freaked out.
Right.
Gotcha.
So like the ways that I found out that I was claustrophobic, I remember two different things at different times. One was when I was pretty young, and I was weak. And I had a shirt on that was like too tight. And like, how some, like you usually pull a shirt off, you either like pull your head through the neck part and then maybe you wiggle up that way. Or sometimes you try to take it where you take the bottom and pull it up from the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what, but it kind of got stuck and like, listen, it was horrifying. It wasn't just stop. It wasn't,
That's funny though.
I know. But that one's not the bad one, but I just remember like kind of getting panicky, because I couldn't quite get it off, and it wasn't for very long, but those few seconds of like not being able to get it off of my head and like off my arms and not being able to move.
Right, you panic.
And it's just like, but the other time I had something under my bed or something, so I crawled under my bed, and I kind of like shifted under, like just kind of like you would go under, how you'd go underneath a car, you kind of like slowly just move to the back. Right. So I got there and I had my head kind of turned to the side, and then I was like, okay, time to go back out. And I went to turn my head from looking over my left shoulder to looking over my right shoulder, and it just went boom, and I couldn't move my head back over. Oh man.
Oh, that's horrible.
That was horrible. Cause then I was like, I can't move my head. And I just kind of like got out really quick. But that I watched one movie called The Descent, and they're in a cave.
That's a classic.
Oh, they're in a cave and she gets stuck between the rocks.
Yeah.
I almost like that. I can watch almost any movie with anything, but that part I was like, guys, I almost can't do this. I almost can't. This is horrifying.
That's like you legitimately have claustrophobia. Like it's a legitimate one right there.
Yeah, it's awful.
If it just gets triggered by like something like that, yeah.
What do you guys think about needles?
I mean, I don't like them because they hurt.
Someone's like, I like needles.
It's not. I'm not. I don't care. I'm not that bad with them anymore. I used to be like, ugh, but they're not. I've gotten enough that I'm like, okay, whatever.
I'm old enough that I know how to relax, but I don't like. I have to like, okay, relax. Everything's fine because I do not.
They still freak you out?
No, I don't panic because I know how to stay calm. Like I don't let that ball roll. But I am whenever I go to get the shot, I'm like, oh boy, okay, here we go. All right, give me the shot. Just give it to me, just real quick. Come on.
You gotta prepare yourself.
Like,
right?
well, I just don't want to like sit there and like watch it go in. Like some people, they'll just watch it. Freaks. I don't know what's wrong with it. My like doctor friends are like, I like watching it.
Well, you have to. Yeah, I don't know. Some people are. Yeah, I don't get that. But I don't really have like an irrational fear towards them. I'm just like, ugh, this is gonna hurt. That's how I feel about needles. So.
Is what a small fear that I have, and this is like a more recent fear, and I don't know if it's an irrational or rational. I feel like most fears are rational fears, but I have like a fear of. It doesn't have a name as far as I know. I just was thinking about it. It's like micro habits that turn into long-term problems. So it's like, oh, well, I drank this protein shake every day for 3 years, and now I have kidney stones because it had something in it. Or, oh, I ran every day for a very long time, and now my knees don't work anymore because I ran with the wrong pair of shoes for too long. So it's like tiny little things that just over time cause big problems.
It's like the idea that everything gives us cancer, right? And
yeah,
so
or like
little things that we do over time, right?
Yeah, like, oh, you ate too much of a certain type of food, like soy, and yeah, I'm kidding. But I mean, like, you eat a certain type of food, and over time, it's like, well, it just wore down your immune system like 0.1% every year, or like 1% a year, and now you're 50 and you're just screwed. Like little things. I can't think of like an exact example, but those things make me paranoid because they're hard to catch because it's so small.
It sounds like you're afraid of life.
That's right. I'm being very like open about my. See, here's the thing. Like some people have fear of water. No. Tunnels? No. Bridges? No. Public
Water?
speaking? Not really.
That's a thing?
Fear of water? Yeah. Because people,
I guess if you can't swim.
people can't swim.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Fear of snakes? No. I am not afraid of snakes like at all.
You're not Indiana Jones.
You know what my greatest fear is, I think?
What is your greatest fear?
Bad.
Scooby-Doo?
So bad. No. I think my greatest fear is being in a committed relationship.
Oh my gosh. We're here, boys. We're here.
That's why you were like, exit stage left. As soon as that woman showed up.
Well,
like, all right,
no,
see ya.
that's not why. No, it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's just a scary thing. It's like, oh, so just being committed to someone and having someone be committed to you, like, what does that feel like? I have no idea. So it's kind of like, ooh, scary.
What are you afraid of in that, though? Like, what is
that's
the...
that's interesting. I mean,
I'm just afraid of it not working. I'm just afraid of it not working out and just getting hurt. I've been like, I guess I've been in a, well, I don't know, but like I just had the experience of like being heartbroken before. So just like being in a committed something and it potentially not working out. Not that I would think it wouldn't work out, but I guess I do because
you're like,
maybe I'd be in a relationship.
Look at me.
But but yeah, it's just the fear of like giving myself to someone and this.
Yeah, let's break this down a little bit, because fear, in a way, I think I heard someone say something where they said, fear. It's like fear is. Oh, what did they say? It was like fear is memory or something. The reason fear exists is, or fear is learning, or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
what
it's like it's important, right? Like
because,
you don't want to live your life without fear, right?
Right. You want
to let's say you love the bright red light on the kitchen stove, and so you're like, oh, I want to touch that bright red light on the kitchen stove, and then it's like, psst, wah, and you burn your hand, right? So the pain's there, then the pain goes away. A couple years later, you're like, hey, I really like that pretty stove. And you touch it again, just psh, burn it again. So where fear comes in is fear remembers the pain and goes, whoa, don't do that again. Yep. And so like it does these things, like, you know, when you get scared of something, you move away from it, you're ready to run, you tense up. And so the fear of a committed relationship does make a lot of sense because you don't have a lot of control over it. Mm-hmm. You can't really control the way they feel. You can't really control the way you feel. You can't really control where it goes or how it ends up. And if you've been hurt before, it's like, I have a fear of that hurt because, you know, let's be honest, that's a pretty significant. And also it's painful.
Yeah. And also too, I've like, I don't know, I've just never really been around too many like committed relationships. So I don't even have like a visualization of what, like I have no reference, you know what I mean? Like in my personal life. Yeah. So it's like, I don't even, what am I supposed to do? Like, who am I supposed to like ask for like advice?
You're supposed to commit, Shayne.
No one.
Commit.
Commit.
I mean,
how old are you, Shayne? How old are you?
I'm 25. I can commit. Okay. I don't have, the issue is not with me like committing.
It's not me, it's you.
No. The issue is my fear is that the other person just won't be as committed as I am. I think that's like the like detailed part of the fear, but the fear is because it's happened many times before, so it's like, okay,
right,
like, it's just
yeah,
I understand
it is like the fear of the emotions that go along with a relationship.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't go, because it's like here's what it is. Like, let's say I invite you to a building and there's 2 doors, and I say, all right, I want you to pick a door. You open one door and it's like, oh, look, there's a bunch of, I don't know, apples in this room. Sweet, I love apples. And then you go to the other one and it's like, snakes, wow, snake. And a few snakes bite you and it's like, no. Then you come back the next day and I'm like, all right, pick another door. And you're like, well, I don't know if it's going to be apples or snakes, but I remember the snakes and I almost don't even want to risk maybe getting the apples because I'm afraid of those snakes. And so like with a relationship, you know the good stuff that can come along with it, but then you're like, oh, but I know there's that possibility of that same pain they had before. Now, do you guys believe that?
It's the risk, right?
Yeah, I've heard that fears, like irrational fears or fears, like so, like a fear of spiders would come from, oh, I saw my mom get bitten by a spider and it hurt her hand, and I saw it, and that scared me as a kid, and now I'm afraid of spiders. Or at some point in history, one of my ancestors was killed by a spider or something, and then that fear trickled down through different generations. Have you guys heard about that?
No.
Yeah, it's like
the fear gets transferred to like their children. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I mean, evolution wise, it
interesting.
makes sense, because it's like, why would I be afraid of heights? I've never fallen from a height. I've never seen someone fall from a height.
I see.
I don't. What would be the reason?
It's fear of the unknown.
Well, yeah, in some ways it can be, but it's like somebody in a common ancestor of a lot of us probably saw somebody fall off a cliff or almost fell off a cliff or fell off a cliff and survived, and then that fear carried down. And so like that's why a lot of people have the fear of heights, because a lot of people have been traumatized by it throughout history. And evolution, like let's say, okay, here's one example.
Crazy. I never thought about that.
Let's say this. Let's say that there's a red flower that if you eat it, you die. Okay? If everyone eats that flower, we all die.
Yes.
Okay, so if I eat the flower, I die. But let's say I figure it out. Oh, that red flower means you die, so I'm going to stay away from that flower. But I need my kids to also stay away from that flower as well, okay? Because if any of my kids eat the flower,
they'll die.
They all die, and now the human race is over because of a red flower. So the idea is that evolution-wise,
what a way to go.
Those instincts would pass on to the next generation a little bit. So then the kids just know, oh, I know there's something about these flowers. I just feel uneasy about them, and it's because of you're coming from your parents. You're made from the same DNA and like or gene, like I don't know. I think it's interesting.
That's crazy. I never thought about that though.
Yeah.
That's why so many people have that fear.
No, well, I know. I mean, maybe, but I have that fear because, well, I don't know, because my mom's not afraid of heights, and I'm afraid of heights. So,
right. But
I have that fear. For me, it's fear of the unknown. I have that fear because it's like, okay, if I fall from this height, I don't know what's going to happen. So that's why I'm afraid of falling from this height, because I don't know what's on the other side of falling from this height. Am I going to die?
Oh, no.
Or am I going to die? Or am I just going to be like severely injured? Like what, you know what I mean? Or is there going to be a magic trampoline at the bottom so it's going to catch me? Like what's going to happen? I don't know. I'm freaking out.
Was your mom ever afraid of heights?
When there's too many, like when I can't come to I'm afraid of something when I can't come to like a conclusion of how it's supposed to end.
Right.
I'm like, there's too many possibilities. I'm like, then I start freaking out.
Well, was your mom ever afraid of heights before? Maybe.
Not that I know.
Because it's possible that she used to be, and then she got over it.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because you talked about jumping off.
But she used to
cliff
tell me, like when I told her that I was afraid of roller coasters, she said I never knew that. I used to go on roller coasters all the time, so I was like, well, clearly didn't get that from you.
It's possible that she went on when she was younger though, like maybe before she had
that's what I'm saying. Maybe
built up the fear. But so like, okay, so in my notes on my computer and on my phone, I tend to write down thoughts that I have, just stupid things. Sometimes they're funny. Sometimes they're serious, sometimes there's things that I want to talk about on the podcast or project ideas. And sometimes I forget, the things that I write down. And I was going through my notes, and Shayne talking about jumping off of a cliff reminded me of this note. So yesterday, I'm scrolling through my notes, and I found a note that I wrote a couple of weeks ago to myself that I completely forgot about. And the note was, I said, if you commit suicide by jumping off a building, you're basically committing suicide by crashing into a planet.
You're testing whether or not you're Superman.
I feel
my friend just goes, "Are you high?"
Exactly. I was gonna say, I feel like that's one of those hit the blunt memes. Like, oh.
Yeah, I can see
stupid.
that.
I read it. It was like, How did I come up with this?
Whoa, dude.
Like, dude, you jump off a building, you're basically crashing into a planet, man.
You're like
Whoa, bro.
a meteor. Like, whoa.
What else did I want to talk about in regards to fear?
Honestly, I can't stop looking at this picture of this dude with the middle part. Like, I can't.
You know, Joel, Joel's face keeps popping up.
Yeah, it's just
all
like
over our chat.
He looks
It's like-
so content.
So this
That's
is
the part that gets me.
actually, this is interesting that this something I wrote down is close to what you said, Shayne. It says fear is closely related to, but should be distinguished from, emotional anxiety, which occurs as a result of threats that are perceived to be uncontrollable or unavoidable.
So would that be like
Unavoidable part's
social
interesting.
anxiety? Or
So I guess that's interesting because you can't control a snake or a spider. You can't
Right.
control a relationship. You can't
Right.
control the direction you're going when you fall. You know, you can't move when you're claustrophobic. You can't control the way people think about you with public speaking. And then, yeah, that's interesting. Death is unavoidable.
right.
You know, like getting upset is unavoidable in a lot of ways. I don't know. That's interesting. Needles, I don't know how that would be unavoidable or uncontrollable though.
You're saying it's so. Say it again. It's the
Yeah, so
unavoidable.
fear is closely related to, but should be distinguished from, the emotion anxiety, which occurs as a result of threats that are perceived to be uncontrollable or unavoidable. Which I don't know how that works for needles, because needles aren't really uncontrollable or unavoidable.
So you would
Actually,
fear that, so you wouldn't have an anxiety towards that.
Yeah.
I guess.
but I guess a needle is like a doctor type thing, and so it's unavoidable. The needle's unavoidable if you don't want to get sick, I guess.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you're
So it's like, I don't want to get sick, which is another fear. But the only way to not get sick, the only way to avoid it is to do something else that I wish I could avoid. I don't know. I just, sorry, I'm kind of thinking out loud at this right now.
So basically, fear and anxiety are two different things. That's the
yeah,
idea.
I guess that's what it's saying.
Yeah.
I think
good.
fear
Fear, little
can-
fear, but tons of anxiety. Perfect.
They go together in a way, but they're not like one and the same.
Yeah, that's weird, because there's times when I'd say I'm anxious but not fearful.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
I feel like you
Yeah,
could
that
conquer
was
your
like- that was
fears,
like-
but
Yeah, that was like me, like at like the party. I was like very anxious at first. I wasn't afraid of being there. It's not like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified. I'm so scared. Like,
yeah.
they're
I
like,
was just like,
they're
I
like,
just don't.
do you want to play? Do you want to play beer pong? And you're like, oh, no! You just
Right, I
run
was
away.
gonna run away.
What's wrong with him? Oh, he's scared of
It's like
pong
he's just
balls, ping pong
scared.
balls, red Solo cups. Really trigger him.
Oh, fear
color
of
red
blood.
scares me.
Fear of blood. That's one a lot of people have.
Yeah, that is one, isn't it?
I have a fear of like gushing blood.
I'm trying to think of there are things that have made me
Oh,
feel
no,
more faint
blood.
before, but I don't remember what. I haven't given blood, but I've had blood drawn from me. I've seen a lot of blood before. I saw something that made me feel kind of lightheaded because it was just kind of traumatic, but I don't remember what it was. You guys have anything like that? Like you see a bunch of blood and then you're like, huh, all right, hold on. I gotta calm myself down. I'm getting lightheaded. Anything?
Never. No, I
Shots
do not,
used to do that to me when I was a kid.
No, never with shots or blood or anything like that. Only
Yeah, what was
holes.
the question?
Holes.
Only
That's
holes
fair.
for some reason.
What's your question, Shayne?
No, I said no. I was asking what was your question again.
I was saying, has there ever been something that you've seen that has made you like lightheaded? Like, oh, I gave a lot of blood and I'm just seeing the blood, I'm seeing the needle, or I'm seeing someone else give blood, or I'm seeing someone having surgery, and then you get that kind of lightheaded, like, oh man. Has that ever happened to you before?
Yes. I'm trying to think of exactly what.
I do have a story while you're thinking about it. I remember when I was
go
like
ahead.
3. This is so funny because I hate to admit this on the podcast, but I still sort of do this about some things. It's definitely not as bad and it's definitely not as often, but I have my moments. So when I was 3, my mom was taking me to the doctor, not to get a shot, okay? Not to get the shot. And I thought in my head, if I go to the doctor, I might get a shot. I didn't think if I go to the doctor, I'm going to get a shot. I thought I might get a shot. And I got myself so worked up.
Right.
I got myself so worked up at the idea of maybe getting a shot that I was about to faint. And my mom's like, she looks at me and I'm just like drunk, like walking, oh no. And my mom's like, Luke, what are you doing? Like, you can't faint. You're 3. So she took me into the women's bathroom and like propped me up with my feet up so that the blood would rush from my feet back into my head. And I didn't faint. But my mom was like, good God, Luke, calm down. It's like, nothing even happened. Like, you freaked out or not. You didn't do anything. Yeah. Like nothing, like you're freaking about a problem that wasn't even a problem, basically, because I didn't get a shot after all. So just like freaking out for no reason,
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do with a kid who's like freaking out like that irrationally. I wouldn't know what to do with that.
Yell at them. Stop!
Pretty much. That's all you got at that point, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So the thing that makes me like whatever you said, or that also is a fear of mine, and I just watched a movie about this, so this is what I was trying to remember, is getting, or in any type of way, pain or form, but for sure having like my dick cut off or something. I watched a movie about that.
Oh no, everyone's sensitive about that a little bit.
Yeah, I watched a movie about that, and movie? Oh my god, the guy, he like, it's a Netflix movie. It's called Package. LOL. But or it's called.
Why is it called Package?
Or it's called The Package.
Wait.
It's because the whole movie.
But why is it
about,
called The Package, Shayne? Why do you think it'd be called that? Like what? Do you think that? I'm kidding. Okay, keep going. What happens?
He's implying that it's his penis. I get it, Luke. Jeez.
You saying what happens in the movie?
Yeah. Well, how does his dick get cut off?
So he acts. So he's
questions I never thought I'd hear.
It's these group of. I don't know if they're in high school or they're like on college break or something, but they go on this camping trip. They get like really wasted, and this one guy is just like standing somewhere, and he's just like, being drunk and just having his arms out in the air, like talking to whoever he's talking to in the dark,
having a gay old time.
And then his friends go out, like, I guess, looking for him or something, and so they kind of creep up on him and they scare him. So he
not
turns
a freak
around.
Accident.
So he turns around and for whatever reason he had a knife in his hand. So he turns around and he freaks out, and I guess he like sliced it off, and all you just see it fly through the air. And I was like shaking. I was freaking out.
Oh, that could make me lightheaded, that idea. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's actually another fear. That's another fear that I have sometimes, is the idea of a freak accident.
Yeah.
Like something that's just totally stupid and then you're crippled forever.
Yeah. I watched all those live leak videos, like, watch this guy tear his groin in two. It's like,
no! I hate thinking about this.
That's how it makes me feel too.
You were talking about getting lightheaded. I'm getting lightheaded now. Just kidding.
That would get me lightheaded real quick.
Oh, I hate thinking about that. That's precious cargo. That part's really important to me.
I just remembered what I was scared of when I was a kid. Y'all watch Goosebumps?
Actually, I didn't. I was smart. I didn't get warped as a child, afraid of, because everyone brought them up all the time. Like, oh, it's terrifying.
Well,
I was like,
true.
Screw those books. I'm not reading those.
Ventriloquist dummies. There was a dummy called Slappy.
I saw that guy. I saw that book in the library and was like, no. Not reading that thing.
No, thank you, sir. And so, like, the movie Dead Silence definitely messed with me. So I'm like, I used to be afraid of this stuff, but not anymore, not really. But Slappy, when I was younger, my mom said that she got a ventriloquist dummy from school, and she was gonna put it in my bed, like while I was sleeping.
Hold on, your father. Wait, so your dad? Hold on, your dad. Stop.
They were such dicks.
Your dad gave you the fear of claustrophobia, and then your mother gave you the fear of dolls.
Well, she was gonna feed the fear more, and then decided.
I
decided
cannot.
not to. Could you imagine that? You wake up and there's just a dummy in your bed next to you.
No.
And you look just like
no.
you look just like the dummy Slappy too. So it's like you
No,
kinda have to-
Happy
no,
Halloween, everybody!
if ever, even if to this day, if I go to bed and I wake up and there's something that's in my bed that was not in my bed when I went to sleep, I'm freaking
yeah, that's
out.
the thing, right? It's like, no, I don't want that. Why would you do
All
that?
right,
Seriously.
guys, let's wrap up this episode.
Yikes.
Now that everyone's freaked out and
gonna go
scared
home.
of everything,
I need to look at some puppies. Hold on.
yeah,
LOL.
and I still see
I bleach.
Joel's
That's a trend
smiling.
right
Joel's smiling face is still in our Discord chat.
Here, I'll make it worse.
Fear.
Hold on.
Guys. Shayne, plugs.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's November 1st. I can say something now. Oh my goodness. Yes. Wow, I'm so glad I just remembered that.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So check out the podcast that I host called the Pop Talk Podcast. You can check that out on SoundCloud and iTunes. And then follow us on, Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff at pop_talk_. And then if you want to follow me, my Instagram is at Mr. McCatty, MrMCCATTY. And yeah, a lot of cool pop talk stuff coming. We just got business cards in, which is really cool.
What?
And I'm picking up our updated t-shirts tomorrow. So yeah, it's really cool. And I would say check out my upcoming vlog, but I guess I gotta talk to Luke because I don't know.
Oh yeah,
that is.
I rendered it out.
Vlogs.
I
Okay.
rendered it and I have it. I can give it to you.
Okay, cool. So yeah, check out my upcoming vlog coming soon. And so really cool, I guess, announcement. I guess this is the first place I'm ever saying this because I can officially say this now. But if you guys remember, or if you're new, the musical I did over the summer, Hutchins Farm, had a great time doing that, my original musical. We got selected to be the one and only performers at this I guess it's called it's like a Christians author and readers convention and whatnot, but there's gonna be like 300 plus people there. And we're gonna so we have like a 30-minute performance slot, so we have to like cut down our show a little bit, but we're gonna perform, and then we're gonna have an entire table to like sell all of our merchandise and our CDs and our yada yada.
You can mention Pop Talk, cross promotion.
Yes. I'm actually group, my team or my group or whatever. I guess we all picked me to be the spokesperson for the show. So I'm actually gonna get to go like on like the radio press tour with like the convention lady who's in charge of the convention, and I'm gonna get to like talk about like my show, and I'm gonna plug all my stuff. Like what the heck?
That's awesome.
No, I'm like so excited. So that'll be
When is it? When is early next? Okay.
Early next year.
Woo!
Yeah. So there'll be some cool, exciting things coming with that. I guess in terms of promo or whatever, in the near future. So yeah, stay tuned for Hutchins Farm. Yeah, it's
Fire!
I'm like very excited.
That is awesome. So Nick,
Dude, that's
now,
sick, man.
now,
Why you want to watch Hutchins Farm? Check it out. It's on my YouTube channel, Shayne McCatty. Okay,
Very cool, man. That's really cool.
So,
thank you.
all right, Nick, now top that.
Yeah, Nick. No, just kidding.
I locked down my Twitter. Yay!
Wait, really?
It's private now. Yeah, I stopped tweeting.
Oh no!
I'm done
yeah, I did
with
too.
it.
I'm done with Twitter too. I'm done with Facebook too. Facebook is
and
trash.
I
Twitter is
deactivated my
trash.
Facebook. Yeah, I deactivated my personal
I'm about to. I never post
Wait,
on
why
Facebook
do we hate
ever.
Facebook? Well, I'll talk.
Because nothing,
I'm just bored with it.
I can't get anything to show. Nobody sees anything on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
The only
Your
thing
stuff
that
doesn't
shows
show.
on Facebook is if you share memes.
LOL, that's so true.
That's so true.
And like, I just hate it. I just don't care for it anymore.
Yeah, I feel you.
I understand. Yeah, that's kind of how I am too.
And Twitter,
so.
I never get any attention on Twitter, so I just hate it, and I just never use it. So
I learned with Twitter.
So hold up.
you have to get into fights. So toxic.
I mean, I've done that before. I've zinged people before, and then I got a bunch of attention.
too. Yeah.
But I just don't care. Nick, sorry, you were doing your plugs. So Twitter, do not follow him on Twitter because you
Don't
can't.
follow me on Twitter because you can't. Yeah. Now I still have my Facebook page.
I'm
still have my
followed to
YouTube
him
page.
on Twitter, suckers.
I still have my YouTube page. Still have my Facebook page. Still have my Instagram. Mainly Instagram. That's mostly what I use. Go follow me on there. Did that top it? Did that do it?
Well, wait, what's the Instagram?
Oh, I love
I
drumming.
love drumming.
No G at the end, my dude.
I mean, I obviously know what it is, but I just said you didn't say it, so I just wanted.
Did I not say it? I'm so used to saying it.
I don't think
I
you
love
did.
drumming. No
you
G.
either didn't say it,
He did.
or
Say, he didn't.
or I was just paying.
No,
not
he
paying
didn't. He
attention.
didn't say it.
All right, good. You're welcome.
I really am just happy I deactivated my personal Facebook. It's really what I'm happy about.
Yeah, I'm. Oh no, wait. How are you in our chat then?
No, I still
Yeah.
have. I still have Messenger. You can still have Messenger.
Wait, really?
But without a Facebook account,
Yeah,
Man,
Messenger's
all right,
separate
see
from
you
Facebook.
later, Facebook.
it's not
It's like,
separate from Facebook.
There's no point.
Well, if you
But-
deactivate your Facebook, you can still have Messenger.
What?
But how do? Okay. Okay.
All right, well, bye Facebook.
That's
I
the
just
thing.
never use it. I never use Facebook, ever.
I like.
The only notifications I get are from groups I'm in, and I never read them.
I use Facebook to like post whatever like I'm doing, and then to say happy birthday to people, and that's kind of it.
Oh, I gave up on the happy birthday thing a long time ago. I was like,
I
screw
mean,
this.
like, I don't like go out of my way. If I see it and I remember, I'll do it. But if it's like someone important, then I'll obviously say happy birthday. But if they're important,
Okay.
I probably talk to them. So
All right, my plugs. So
sorry.
you can follow my. I can't ever get the words right. I almost said you can follow my YouTube.
I mean, you can follow it.
You can subscribe to it. Luke Roxwell blah.
There it is.
Outro music.
Yeah. I almost said that too. I was like, screw this. Follow. How about this? Everyone knows what my YouTube channel is. Follow my Instagram. LukeRockswold. Luke Roxwold on Instagram. That is where I do all of everything. Also, follow the podcast, WAITSB Podcast on Instagram. I'm telling you guys, if you want to be hooked in, follow the podcast. It's really
Sure, we
funny.
have a
We're doing
podcast.
questions. We want to be able to read the things you guys think on the air. So if you're funny and you want attention,
It really is a win-win.
that's the way to do it. So,
Right? It really is a win-win.
what, Shayne?
I'm
You
sorry.
stop.
I'm sorry. You just said that we want to know what you're thinking about the podcast. Or we want to read it on the air, and then I just read a meme that like, what if someone had tweeted that? It just the timing is just really funny. Sorry.
Why are you gonna tell us what the meme is? We gotta.
Okay.
This
sorry.
episode
Okay,
is
guys,
over.
no.
I
Close
can.
the episode.
I can. Okay. The meme says. Damn,
Wait.
your pussy tight as fuck. First of all, your dick is in my ass. Remove it. And so,
Shayne, what are you talking about? What happened?
That's it. I'm dead.
That was the
Outro
meme. The meme.
music.
Trypophobia.
You told me to read the meme.